gentlemen, we've got a spectacular show lined up for you today. Before we dive in, a gentle reminder, make sure to like and save the world. And hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on Miss Gen X's YouTube channel to catch all of the in-studio live action. Now, who's ready to kick things off? I want to see those hands in the air. Let's make it rain confetti. All right, folks, without further ado, let's give a roaring welcome to the star of the show, the one and only Miss Gen X.
That's not roaring. Where's your confetti? Let's see it. Hi, guys. Hello, good morning. How is everybody doing? Or good afternoon on the East Coast. Good evening over there in the UK. Nice to see you today. How are you? How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. It is going to be a great final show for season one. I keep saying it. Season one is ending because I'm very proud of myself and all of you. 30 episodes. I'm hitting buttons. No, that's not the signal. Don't come out yet, Tanzer. I'm just getting situated. I apologize. Okay, we're not going to celebrate until the end. It's not the end. We're just getting started. Okay, here we go. Everything is situated. Everything's good. So, wow, welcome in. It is officially National Coffee Day, and I am way down in my seat. Okay, here we go. Happy National Coffee Day to you coffee lovers out there. Can we hear it for the jump? That's all right. After all, this is Java Jabbin because we be jabbing while we got our Java. You know what I'm saying? All right. You can't hear me, can you?
It's difficult, yeah.
Oh, really? Wait. Okay, how about now? Is it better? Yay! All right. I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. I have this little earpiece, and sometimes if I step in, step out too quickly, things get a little wonky. So, but yeah, hello. Nice to see you. It's going to be a great show. Y'all know Tanzer, right? Everybody here knows who Tanzer is? Oreo, no? You don't have any idea? Okay. Yes, you do. You know Tanzer. Yeah, so Tanzer has been in the metaverse for quite a while. He's done a lot of really cool things, made some really cool builds, got some cool collaborations. He's done, quite a good amount of work also with the community with this pumpkin patch, the pick of the patch, which I did one last year. I submitted a pumpkin that was really fun. So he's always looking for ways to include the community, which I really love and Meta really loves. And I mean, hey, without a community, what are we anyways, right? Like we got to keep it strong to keep it going, because the more that we do together as a community, the stronger we'll be and the longer that we'll be here and the more growth that we will have. And speaking of growth, how about these new avatars coming on Tuesday? Is everyone excited for that?
No.
Indifferent? I get it. I know, 50-50, right? I mean, hey, it's understandable. We're not used to the change. We want to keep our avatars. We've grown attached. We've had a lot of memories. I still remember when we got our legs. So, it's all good. Oh, Vex. Is that the Vex? What up, bro? Nice to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. You never come to Horizon Worlds. That's what's up. All right, guys. So without further ado, what do you say we bring them on out? Y'all ready to hear from Mr. Tanzer? Come on out here, Tanzer. Where you at? Welcome in. Yay, there he is. Hello, Mr. Tanzer. Good morning.
Hello.
Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I am doing great, man. I am feeling so mother effing good today. I gotta tell you, a lot of good change on the horizon.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Can you believe it? 30 episodes. You were here for the very first one, weren't you?
I think so, yeah. And we're at 30, and this is the last of the season, and also the last time of us like this. So perfect transition time into your second season with a whole new horizon, pretty much. So
yeah, I know. It's incredible.
I'm honored to be here for the end of this. This is kind of like a moment in time. You know what I mean? Like we've been these people for a long time, and we're no longer going to be as we see today. So
I know.
I'm gonna miss it. It's like gonna be a time for mourning, you know.
It
We're gonna miss
is.
each other. I'm gonna miss all my friends. It's gonna be like reintroducing myself to brand new people. It's gonna be crazy.
Right. Like, who are all these avatars? You know,
I
we've gone
know.
through like the very super bloxy, pixelated people
I was there
at
for
one
that.
point in time.
I was there for that. There was
And
no
then we
beards.
started-
Yeah, none of the men had beards. We were all clean shaven little boys in the metaverse, brand new pups to the to
Right.
being in VR. We didn't even have facial hair at the time. And if you had too many people in the world, we turned into like pills, like with just like a ball for a head and a block
Oh,
body.
God.
So,
No.
if you were in the way in the back, that's what you look like. If you were closer to you, you kind of like had little claw, little kind of hands. It was crazy times.
Oof.
I mean, we're coming a long way.
Oof.
Hopefully, these new ones, it's going to be a transition, but we'll
Yeah.
get used to them before you know it. Just like when we got legs, it's
Right.
different, it's new, and we'll go with it, and I think it'll be fine. But yeah, I'm gonna miss this.
100%. Yeah, man. You know, I was so against it in the beginning. I'm like, oh God, it's gonna be weird. I don't want to. I want to keep these guys. Like,
Oh yeah,
you know, but I also thought, like, when we were just torsos, that getting legs would be weird.
right.
And now I look back and I'm like, oh, what was I
know
thinking?
it'd be weird without them, right? Yeah, it's kind of like when you have children. I mean, I have children, and when my son was like an infant, like he was the most beautiful thing ever to me. And as he became a toddler, I missed my infant. My infant,
Oh my
I
gosh,
loved him
yes.
just the way he was. But you get it
Yeah.
replaced with the new version of your child that you love
Right.
in such a whole
Right.
new way, and then you mourn the loss of the infant, but then you mourn the loss
Right.
of the toddler as they get a little bit older.
Aw,
And there's all these
I
stages, and then you get to
know.
the point where they're, a lot older, and then you're
Tweens.
like,
Yes.
okay, I don't love the new one. I wish I could
Right.
take one of the older
Give
ones
me my
and bring
baby
it back,
back.
and you can keep this
Yeah.
one. This one's got a
Aw.
mouth or too much
I know.
craziness going on, So-
Who gave it? Where'd you get that mouth from? You know, my younger brothers, they're all like in their late 20s, in their 30s, because I'm going to be 42 next month. And so it's like, even looking at them as grown men, married with homes and mortgages and kids and stuff, I'm like, I still see them as the little 3 and 4-year-olds and 1-year-olds sucking on their thumb and,
Yeah.
getting into trouble and laying the Legos out. So, they wouldn't, I couldn't get to them to put them in timeout because they're acting up. Yeah, I think it's going to be great though. I really do.
Yeah.
I think change is good, and
Change is good.
there's always an adaptation process, but it's
Yeah.
going to be really great.
We're
for
still going to
us.
miss this though.
We will,
Especially
I know.
for someone like yourself. I mean, you become a persona. Like you're kind of all about, like, I'm a creator. I'm in build mode. People don't see me all that often. I'll come out and hang out from time to time, but a lot of times I'm in build mode. But when you're a host of a show,
Right.
there's a lot of these, people that have an image in here and a persona, and it becomes one and one with who you are in here. A lot of your marketing is centered around like the way you look like this, and it's like you have to
Right.
transition to a whole new marketing to like get people to know who you are again when you're in the public eye.
Yeah. It's like we're all going to the plastic surgeons.
Right.
And we'll
And then
still be
sometimes
who
they
we are.
botch
We
it.
just right.
Am I gonna do?
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. Am I gonna glow up
Yeah.
or not?
Right. And then Tiger, he's so funny. He's not here yet, but he's like, just know that if you see 2 massive watermelons jumping around Horizon Central, that is me. I'm like, oh, you and the BBLs. He's so
Oh
funny.
gosh,
It's
that's
a
so
trip.
funny.
I know. So yeah, and you know what? Meta, okay, listen, I kind of feel like Meta sees me, but they don't see me, but they see me. So maybe they did this perfect timing just for me. I'm like, oh, they did this just for, no, I'm just kidding. They did it right at the end of the season just for me. No, I'm just
Right?
kidding.
It was a good time.
Just kidding, guys. I'm very modest. I promise you. But yeah, so you are always in build mode, man. You've got so many great worlds. You've been here since the beginning, right? Like, how did you find the metaverse? How did you find Horizon Worlds? Where did it start? How did it
So
start?
I didn't have any like gaming background. I didn't even have an artistic background at all. I was in sales, marketing, doing stuff like that in the regular day life. I used to do art a lot in high school. I mean, that was the last time I touched art before, I got into here, and I'm in my 40s now. So, I mean, it's been a long time since I was touching something artistic. And then we were kind of getting into COVID and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted a PlayStation 5 for Christmas, but you couldn't find one. They were like, or if you we're going to be able to get one, it's going to cost you like so much money.
$800, right?
Yeah. So my wife is like, I don't know what I'm going to do. He really wants this PlayStation 5 and I can't get one. So she saw a lot of buzz around, the Quest 2. And she's like, I don't know if he'll like this or not, but I'm going to get it for him and hopefully he'll like it. And, hopefully that will work. And so I got one and I kind of was like, oh, okay. I don't know much about VR at all. I've never done a VR type of thing before. I saw people slipping a cell phone inside of a box kind of thing. And I was like, what the hell? Like,
that was the first time I ever saw VR too. I'm like, what is that? You guys actually put these things on your heads and use these? What?
I know, it seemed like the weirdest thing ever, but like I gave it a try and I put it on, and it wasn't until I actually put it on and I started creating my boundary that I was like, what the hell? Like I have like a laser grid around me in here,
right?
And I can like break the barrier. I'm like, this is weird. Yeah. And so then I started playing on here and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And then it was just a couple months later that I just heard about Horizon and I just kind of threw in, an application to try to get into the closed beta, and they accepted me and I got right in, and I was in the closed beta with a lot of the early OGs in here. And it was a whole different vibe. I mean, it was nothing like Horizon of today. I mean, it was all super primitive. The builds were done really low poly. I mean, you had a lot of like noodles sitting on squares, sitting on circles, and that was your chair. And it wasn't really defined or like, toned in. But we've come a long, long way, and I've come a long way. I look back at my first world and I was like, oh my gosh, who made this? Like,
but did you keep that first world like as
I kept it.
marker?
It's still like, the volcanoes in there are god awful. They look nothing like a volcano, but we didn't have certain shapes to make certain things, so it was kind of like just doing the best with what you. I did go back once we got textures, because we didn't have textures when we first started building worlds. So I did go back in and like re-texture things in there to give it a little bit of variation to the surfaces, but that's all I did in there. Maybe threw in a couple more doors from time to time, but that's about it.
I like having. Yeah, I like how, I mean, I messed up my very, very, very first build, Explore My Horizon. That now it's 3.0 because I revised it twice.
Okay.
I should have left it. I should have left the original one because it's the very first one I ever did. And you should always leave that, so you can look back on your progress like, damn, look at me now,
Oh, yeah. Well, I see people now that have just come in and they're like been in for 3 months, and I'm looking at their worlds and I was like, oh, damn. You got it already.
Right.
Like I was like, this is way better than what I was doing back when I was first starting. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, you did the best you could with what you had.
True. Yeah, we didn't have the asset library or anything like that to kind of help you get started or find, shapes. I call it asset mining, when you break apart, a lot of the pieces to find, things that really help you make your stuff. We didn't have any of that. It was all like whatever you can make from your brain and.
Well, and one of your and I mean, you've really come a long way with your building. I mean, I look at one of your most beautiful worlds, which is your Arctic. I know that you have like the Arctic, you have at day and at night.
Yeah,
right. I wrote it down. Yes, Arctic Oasis. It's so pretty because the way that you did the landscape, and then you've got the clouds, and it's very tranquil, and it's just a place you can go and just chill and breathe and just kind of relax for a little while. And I love spaces like that.
I love spaces like that too. I sometimes I'm in a world and there's too many kids in there, and it's just getting a little crazy and a little wild and a little loud, and I hear conversations bleeding into each other and I can't like focus on who I'm talking to. So I kind of like find that as a place to escape, and it's like a little bit of peace for me to just kind of take a breath and look around. I've had people come in there and they're like, where did you get this skybox from? And I'm like, this isn't a skybox. This is a built environment. This
that's why I love it so much.
So it's just really nice. I mean, there's not a lot to the world. It's a very small space, but it's just a nice space,
Yeah. It's a good place to go and get away. And it is. Sometimes you do need that. I mean, the kids are great. We do have some rowdy kids in here, but for the most part, the kids are great, I think.
Yeah,
And,
there's some
you
really
know,
good
like
ones.
there are. And, you know, we have our moments where we want to be in the action. We want to be shooting. We want to be flying. We want to be collecting things and doing things and being all chaotic and having fun. But then we also need those quiet moments. At least I do for sure, because my
Oh, yeah.
brain is always just so like, you know, and yeah. But you
Yeah.
also make really cool other worlds like your Punderlands. Oh my gosh, I love your Punderlands. You've got what, like 3 or 4 of them now?
I have 3 of them. I started off with Picnic Punderland, and I started off actually making these 2 tacos characters. And I don't know what I
Okay.
was making. I just wanted to make these characters because I just thought they were fun. And I'm like, what am I going to do with these things? I have no clue what I can put this in. And then I just said, let me make more things like it. And then I
Yeah.
ended up with all these different food characters. And I'm like, you know what? I'll make it like a pun thing where you have to like guess what they are.
Yeah.
And it kind of took off. A lot of people love guessing the different things and what they were. I'm a you know, like a dad, so it's kind of like the dad joke kind of thing when you go in there trying to guess the names of stuff.
Who doesn't love a good dad joke? Come on, and
Oh,
who
yeah.
doesn't love food? Am I right? Am I
Oh, yeah.
right?
So people are like, you know what, this was so much fun, but it's over now, and now it doesn't have a lot of retention because now I've guessed all the things, so you have to do another one. So I'm like, okay, so then I made Plaza Punderland and an apartment Punderland, and I wanted to tie those into Horizon. So I remade the original Plaza. It was kind of like the Horizon Central of the OG days. It's like when you came into Horizon, that's where you ended up at. That was the place to hang out.
That was the landing spot.
Yeah, that was the landing spot. And so like I made it a 1-for-1 copy to the original Plaza, and I didn't have a template to work off of. It was just kind of like pictures that I had and things like that, and I just made it. And if you go there, you'll feel like you were in the original Plaza, except there's also this game incorporated into it.
No, you nailed that shit. I walked in there and was like, what? I'm like, how do you get a copy of this place?
Oh, yeah. And so the people that were here will recognize it, right? But a lot of the new people that know of Horizon Central and things like that, they're like, what's the Plaza?
They don't
like, they don't get that it's a recreation of it.
Yeah.
And I have a version of that same world that I did an Apocalypse version, Plaza Apocalypse, where it's actually kind of like the Plaza today because the Plaza's no more. The Plaza's been like destroyed in order to make room for Horizon Central. So now you go there and it's like the Plaza is destroyed and there's a big vortex in the sky that sucks you up sometimes, or you can grab debris on the ground and toss it into it and it sucks it into the void. So it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a place to bring your friends, but don't tell them that they can get sucked into the wormhole. And you just lead them into the spot. Yeah, you just kind of be like, oh, hey, can you grab that paper airplane for me? And it's on the floor right where you like sucks you up like it's a little, you know,
what a guy, what a guy.
Breadcrumb, yeah.
Little breadcrumb.
Oh yeah.
I just want to thank everybody that is just joining us. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for thank you for stopping in.
A lot of amazing creators in here.
Yeah, there are. I'm looking at all these name tags and I'm like, wow, hey guys, hello. Yeah, Tanzer, I don't know how you do some of the stuff you do. You know, I sometimes find myself walking into other creators' worlds and I'm like, how did they do this? Like how, and I can't figure it out. And, you know, like you've got some really cool ones too. Like, okay, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I love 80s movies and like before the 80s. And I was like, oh, no way. I was like, he did it. He did it. And then don't you have a Spaceballs world too?
I'd have Spaceballs. Yeah, I have 2 Spaceballs worlds. Like, you know, when you are building in here, it's like, what can I do? And then you think about all the things that you did when you were growing up, the shows you watched, and you're like, I could be on this ship of the Spaceball ship. I could be like in the movie. I can wear the outfits. Like there's no like everything that comes with this headset is like free. So you can make anything that you want in here and you can be part of it and in it, and it doesn't cost you anything. Like if you were to buy replicas and stuff like that of these props to have in your house, it would cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars.
For sure.
But you can make them all and like have them in a room that you built instead of buying
Yeah.
them all, you could be in your VR room filled with all of your, the fun stuff from your childhood and walk
You
on the
just can't.
ship and just be part of it.
Yeah, I know. The only bad part about it though is you can't like reach through the screen and drag them into real life.
Yeah, right.
And maybe someday, maybe
One
we'll
day,
get there
right?
with the way technology is going. You never know. Jeez.
Yeah,
You
maybe.
never know. Zuckerberg's always up to something, man. Speaking of, did you see those Orion glasses that connect? Oh my
Oh, yeah.
God.
It looks cool.
Bro.
Like they stole that from Mr. Potato Head.
Those are Mr. Potato Head glasses. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
they look kind of crazy, but they're amazing. They look so good.
Oh yeah.
The stuff you can do with them. The presentation, I was like, what?
Oh yeah. It's the next thing. I mean, it's the new cell phones. I mean, and how much better is it to actually be more engaged in what's in front of you versus always looking
Right.
down at your phone? You'll have the
Yeah.
glasses on your head, so what's on your phone is now in front of you. You can be at an event and actually see the event instead of seeing it through your
Yeah.
phone screen. So
Yeah,
I think it's going to kind of help us out quite a bit with
I agree.
being more present in a moment, because you are always able
Mhm.
to record with the glasses and see all these cool extra
100%.
elements
Yeah.
added into the space as well, which is going to kind of
Yes.
level up what you're looking at too.
Cheers to that. Guys, how many people have the Orions on their wish lists or like in their cart waiting to save up and get it? Yep. I know Vex. I know Vex is ready.
I'll wait till it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's oh, I know, right? I'm gonna wait until they knock it down by like $300. 300, I don't think that'll ever happen. But yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
the technology is so cool. The one thing that did kind of like bug me out a little bit though is when I saw Zuck's face like this big on someone's wall, and I'm like, whoa, it's too much. We're just shrinking down just a little bit. But having, the ability to just be like right there, like I could be in my kitchen cooking, and then I'm like, I just zoom someone into my kitchen with me to hang out while I'm washing dishes. I'm all, oh yeah, so how was your day? Yeah, everything going good. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't say, hold on 1 second, like
It's coming so
Good
fast and
stuff.
furious. I don't even know how to keep up with technology these days.
I
It's
can't.
just wild. Even in here as a creator, the tools are coming fast and furious. I'm in the program that now is starting to be opening up with this new application for the MHCP program. So I encourage everybody, if you're not part of the program, to sign up, because getting access to a lot of these new tools is insane. It's just kind of taking us leaps and bounds into
So
what
much
Horizon
more.
is going to become.
Yeah.
But even myself, I actually can't even keep up with the tools because I have an older
So
computer that
much.
won't even run some of the stuff that you need to do to be able to use
no
these
way.
tools. Yeah, so
Oh, man.
I'm even limited, even though I have access.
Come
So
on,
it's
you
like,
old geezer.
I gotta
Get with
upgrade
the
my
times.
I gotta upgrade my technology just to keep up with
Right.
where things are
I
going.
know.
It's insane.
I know. Some of the
I can run
stuff-
Blender, but I can't run the desktop editor for Horizon,
Right.
where a lot of these
Right.
things have to be implemented in. Let alone, like, I'm not a scripter. I'm really just a builder, and I've worked with some amazing
Right.
scripters that without them, some of my worlds wouldn't be as fun and as amazing as they are.
Oh my God. Yes. You know what? Shout out to the amazing scripters in here.
Oh yeah,
And you know what? I'm
and
sorry to kind
collaborators
of
in
play
general.
favorites.
Yeah,
Bro, yes. Listen, I'm sorry to play favorites, but shout out to Papa Zing 45. He is one of the most amazing scripters that I know of in Horizon Worlds. I just wanted
Absolutely.
to say that. There's
Absolutely.
so much talent. Like, seriously, I don't know how these guys do the scripting. Like, it makes my brain melt. I'm
Oh my
like,
gosh.
I can attach a sound.
Yeah, I can do that too. I'll like go into other scripts. I can be like, okay, I can remove this pill and add this pill, and I can move things around, and I can take things and kind of rig it to make this thing work based on that thing. But like to start it from scratch and come up with how the flow works to make these things happen.
No way.
There's no way. I cannot do it.
I mean, I know how much time we spend as builders on things, but the scripter spends so much more time, and the aggravation, like, I have so
dealing
much
with
respect
Horizon
for them.
sometimes, yeah. Like it's like I just want to do this, yeah, and Horizon doesn't want to cooperate, or they break something,
Right.
and that's the thing too. Let's say I had some amazing scripter help me with something, it works in that moment. But like
Right.
3 months down the road, there's an update or something happens, and now all this stuff is broken. And I'm like, I
Right.
don't know how to fix that. Like, I
Right.
have to be like,
Help
hello,
me.
can you come
Help.
back and help me, please? Because
Right.
something happened to
Help.
your script, and I have no clue what's going on with it. And if we can
Yeah.
fix it.
Oh my God.
Oh,
It's
man.
aggravating for sure. But we roll with the punches, you know, we get through
yeah.
it. And then it's like sometimes, like right now, I have not been able to see the insights in this world for like 2.5 months. And
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
what is going on? And the last show, I was not able to go in and edit for like 4 days, let alone republish. And
Oh, my
I was
gosh.
sweating it. And I'm like on Discord and I'm like ABXY in it and I'm messaging people. I'm like, panic. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
No.
It just it just fixes
And it usually happens right before you have a show, right? Yeah, like you're about to do something or launch a world, and the day of, you're like, it's not working, and you're stressing out.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Oh my
it's
God.
real.
But then the next day it fixed itself. So I was like, whew, you know, am I right? I know Prince knows. Prince Must Hustle. When there's a show that's about to go down, there's an event that's about to take place. And it's like, all right. And Will too. Comic Just Will, he knows. Like we all know, any of us that have hosted or produced or put on any kind of like an event at a specific time with people coming, especially if they're buying tickets and it's like, okay, it's about to go down. Like when I did my comedy fundraiser, Laugh for a Cause, oh my God, no triggers were working. It was a closed instance, but everybody was coming in like it was public. I'm like, yo, but it's okay. We breathe, we don't panic, we get through
I think everybody understands the platform and understands that there's hiccups
Right.
in the way things happen, and then they do an
Right.
update, and you know, the day before an update, things start acting a little wonky. You know, it's like don't do
Right.
anything on like Tuesday or even Monday because you know that could definitely get messed up with something. Yeah,
Don't touch anything. Right.
I know. But we'll move forward.
Right, that's right. We persevere and we come out on top for sure. So, can you tell us a little bit about some of your most memorable collaborations? Because you've had a lot of them. I mean, you've been here for a great deal of time and done a lot of work.
Oh yeah, I mean,
connected with a lot of people.
It's almost impossible to pick like a certain situation or a certain group of people because
So
I mean
many,
there's some people in here that kind of like they've always worked together and they stay kind of working together, and I've had seasons of like different collaborations over the years, and years, it feels like it's been years. It's been only like 3.5 years. It's like a relatively short
Time doesn't
time, but
exist in here. I know.
I know, but it feels like it's been like 10 years, the way that it works.
Right.
Home Ed and I were a good partnership like early on in my time here. He's an amazing scripter, and pretty much
Yes, Home Ed is amazing.
my first like 6 or 7 or 8 worlds were him and I as like a tag team duo working on stuff. When I worked with HCTV, that was like the first TV studio in here, making like different skits and stuff, and I was designing the sets and he was making the magic of these worlds come to life. He was amazing. Then I did a bunch of work with Inspire Team and bringing in some like studio work projects with Wendy's and Cheetos and Shipped and Goth Target and things like that. So I loved working with that team.
Wait, did you say Goth Target?
Goth Target, yes, we did.
Wait, so there's a Target and a Goth Target, like a dark
version of Target, yeah.
What?
That came out around Halloween time.
They got the vampire girls. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So it was a very fun time in Horizon to work with those teams. Then I got over to Born Studios. Born Studios came in from the UK. They were another studio that asked me to come on over. And
I remember Jim Puddin and all them.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's doing amazing scripting work. He's one of the best scripters in Horizon. I mean, his stuff is magical, and he and I worked so well together because my whole thing is if I'm going to make something, I want to make it the best it can look. I want to make it as most realistic as it can look. And he wants to make it feel as real as it could with like real physics and how would this really react, making a balloon where if you turn your hand, the string isn't a stick with a balloon at the end, that when you turn it, you want to always make that balloon feel like it's going up in the air,
So
that's, somebody behind the wall.
So you just want to walk up, see the invisible stairs right there on the two sides in the lobby?
Oh,
I don't know who that is. Yeah, you see him? Yeah, just walk up the stairs and come on back. Come on back. Yep. Okay. Yeah, welcome in. Welcome in.
Oh, well, that's a crowd here,
But
too.
yeah, it's how you doing, Chaos? It's
hey,
good though. It's all about the experience, right? And being immersed in your space. And
it
that's good.
totally makes it that much better. It's like if you're gonna make something, you do something, try to make it the best it can be versus like, is this good enough kind of thing, you know what I mean? And that's what I strive to
Right.
do as much as possible. I mean, sometimes it's hard. I do my best, but if you
Yeah.
have good team and you have good people there, then it just is going to make it stand apart from some of the other stuff that's out here. And just do it. If you're going to do it all the way.
I hear that. Right? Yeah, always strive for the best version of whatever you're doing. And having the right people with you can definitely make the experience that much more enjoyable. But also, you know, like doing things on your own is totally great. And sometimes we do that as a safeguard. I know that pretty much the entire time I've been doing the show, I've just been rolling solo dolo, just doing it all myself 100%. Evil Smirk has been really great because he helped me with, you know, a lot of the scripting in here. But I'll go ahead and just be the first to announce it right now. I won't make you guys wait very much longer. I am doing a collaboration, season 2. I've decided to step out of my comfort zone and I am teaming up. I have teamed up. More information on that later. But yeah, I decided, you know what, it's time. Why not? You know, like it's so much, you can only guard yourself for so long and close yourself off for so long. And with another brilliant mind with extreme talent by your side, you can elevate and accelerate tremendously. And there's so much more that you can do. And it's like, I'm very proud to say that like I built all of this. This is all my design 100%. Like everything, you know, it's all me. That's great. But like, it's time to move on. You know, like October is here. It's a new era in Horizon Worlds and, you know, just go for it. Like, if you keep yourself in a shell, you're never going to break free and see the world on a higher. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Absolutely. And there's so many things that come to the plate. Oh, yeah. There's so many things that get added to your idea. Like you'll have this great idea in your head and you think it's going to be amazing, but then somebody just kind of like brings up something else that kind of like makes you be like, oh my gosh, that's even better. Like, let's do that too. Like, and it just kind of, and all these little things. And like somebody asked me like, so I'm doing a world and there's like, I'm putting catchphrases on the wall. What's yours? And I'm like, I don't have a catchphrase. And then I was thinking about it and somebody else was talking to me about it. And they're like, one thing that I say all the time is, you know, it would be cool. Like that's the thing that I say all the time. Like I'm always thinking about like a cool thing when you're in it. It just like hits you in the head. Like, you know, it'd be cool. And I love the people that say that to me. Yeah. Because it is cool. Some of these things are great ideas and you add these little elements and it just levels it up. And that's why I like to do a lot of these like community builds because I'm doing this pick of the patch world for the 3rd year. It just launched yesterday. We had over
so much fun.
We had over 200 people come through last night for the opening.
Wow, nice.
It was amazing.
Congratulations.
And the community brought it. Like I think we had like 12 to 13 pumpkins the last 2 years. We have almost 30 pumpkins this year.
Jeez,
and they brought the level of like the creativity and the spookiness and all of that just raised the bar. Last 2 years I had like one scarecrow and the winners, whoever wins, their pumpkin goes on the head of the scarecrow. I'm like, there is too many amazing pumpkins here for there just to be one winner. Like no one's going to be able to pick one winner. So I made 3 scarecrows and now I have 3 categories. I have most spooky, most creative, and most fun. And that gives us more chances to see some great winners and see some of these pumpkins really, you know, shine. And I encourage you guys to go check it out and see what the communities come with. And good luck trying to find a winner because it is tough.
But you're absolutely right though, Tanzer. The idea of bouncing, I'm telling you, like my partner and I are just like in the world and we're doing our thing and these different things that we're working on and we're talking and I'm like, oh, but what about this? And how about this? Oh my
Yeah.
God, but you know what else would be cool? And it's just like that, man. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
the creative juices start going and then all of these light bulbs are going off. And it's
Yeah.
like ding, 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 ding. And it's
Yeah.
like you get excited, you know, and it's like, oh, wait, no, what about this?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no, wait, what about this? You know, it's
Isn't that
the
exciting?
coolest thing.
It's so exciting.
Yeah,
and,
man.
and I could have made 30 pumpkins myself, but they wouldn't have been as amazing and as different
Right.
and as unique. And like, there's no possible way for me to come up with that many different
No.
things. But when you have all these different, you know,
Mhm.
creators and just their styles, people have their own sense of style and artistic visions and
Yeah.
bringing all, and just thoughts and just,
Yes.
it's amazing to see what people come to
100%.
do when they come together. So if you,
Absolutely.
the submissions are closed for the pumpkin patch, but I am doing a Christmas world that's a Christmassy version of the same space. I've done it in the past. If you'd like to be part of that, I'm looking for snowmen, snow women, snow creatures, Christmassy related things, and we'll be doing the
Nice.
same thing in the same kind of format. So
That's
definitely,
really dope. I
definitely be
like
part
that.
of it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I love that. And you know what? Listen, you guys, seriously, listen, we know that there's some shitheads in here, okay? We all have, and especially if you've been here for a while, you know that it happens. You're going to run into them. But there's so many more. Put your hand down. No, stop it. Rock, go sit down. Oreo, look, he's trying to start something. Look at, he said, I'm innocent. You sit down. Oreo's an angel. We know that there's some shitheads in here, right? People be people in regardless of the space and whatever is going on. That's just happens. Like there's sour people, but there's so many more good people and great people and people doing wonderful things. So I get it. Put your wall up. Be careful. But also don't completely shut yourself down and not allow anyone in. Because when you come together with people and you collaborate, like not only is it good for the community, but it also can trigger something in you that you might not have known is there or might have forgotten is there. And when that fire gets reignited inside of you, it's incredible. So all I'm saying is take a chance, you know, and be open to the idea. Because
and if you close yourself off and you push people away, who's going to come and check out the stuff that you're making? You know, you're
right.
As much as we like to do it and we want to do it for ourselves, it still feels good to have other people appreciate it too. So you want to play nice in the community because you want to have friends and you want to have visitors and you want to, you know, work with people. So be careful.
We still need to be. Yeah. Oh, can you guys hear me? I took my earpiece out. Okay, you guys can hear me now? Now, can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Got it in and out of that trigger. But still be guarded, still set your boundaries, keep your boundaries strong, but don't, you know, block 5,000 people and then be like, what happened? Nobody shows up. You know?
No, that don't work.
You know, but yeah, having strong boundaries is good, but also don't be so guarded that you just push everybody away. That's not in real life and also in here, you know. I mean, we people, as people by nature, humans, we need other people. Like we do. We're very social creatures, whether we're introverts or extroverts. Like we need that. We need the connections. We need the moments. We need the love. We need the sharing. We need the good stuff, you know, like the bad stuff. We just roll with it. We learn from it. We need that too, because it teaches us and it helps us to become stronger and grow. And we need those lessons, you know, but just embrace it all, man. The good, the bad, the ugly. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing, I tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have your, aside from pick of the patch, you have your AI art world door art gallery. Can we talk about that for a little bit? Because that's kind of cool. I mean, who doesn't love AI art, right?
Yeah, World Door Art Gallery. There's a door over there if anybody wants to check it out. It's you know, I started creating these really cool thumbnails for, you know, a lot of the worlds that I've been making, and I have made a lot of worlds over the last few years, and so I started just changing out all the images and try to get a little bit more traffic to come through some of the old worlds, because a lot of the old worlds get forgotten about. If it's not in the menu, you don't see it. It kind of like it's gone. And there's a lot of amazing worlds from way back that were like the top worlds that nobody even knows exist anymore. So I started to create these images and make really engaging pictures that might draw people to give it another shot and check it out.
Freshen it up.
Yeah, so I started doing that for mine, and so I had a bunch of images to start with, and then as I was working with other collaborators and people that helped me script for my worlds, I started like giving them images that they can start putting on their worlds as a thank you, and kind of like doing that. And a couple of them came to me and says, well, you should make this a thing in here. Like, I'm sure there's tons of other people that want to get, really nice, engaging images for their world doors, or just to have art in their worlds, and like the photo frames. Now that we have photo frames, you should, make this into a thing. So I created the World Door Art Gallery, filled it with some of the stuff I already had done, and I've been adding and adding as people have been coming to me to get, these really dynamic images to kind of help get their worlds discovered and seen. And a lot of creators that have come to me for the World Door images are starting to trend and get on the menu, and it's really working and helping drive traffic and become a billboard for these worlds and get them seen. So I'm trying to be that bridge right now between people that have access and people that don't have access, and help them be able to get some of the same level of exposure as these images that are coming out with people that have a little bit more access.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, give it a fresh face. That's cool. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's nice to have a growth, and to see your world. I mean, we put a lot of time and effort and love and energy into what we're doing in here. So to see your world pop up on the menu, it's really nice. Yeah. I mean, it's happened a couple of times for me, and I remember the first time I almost cried. I was like, "Oh my God, it happened!"
I know it's one of those things where like you can make an amazing world, but it might never get seen because it just doesn't hit the menu, and you really need to do everything you can to try to help give it its chance to be seen.
Yeah,
and everybody deserves a chance to have their work at least be seen. Absolutely. And then they can make their judgments if they like it or they don't like it. They stay, they don't stay, but at least they were able to click on the picture, click on the door, and check it out. So that's what I'm trying to do with the art gallery and bringing
everyone. Everyone deserves a chance. Especially if you're walking around here with good intentions and you're not causing any harm, you're not chaotic, you're not disruptive, you're here for the right reasons, and you're really putting that time and that effort and that love and that passion into it. Why wouldn't you deserve to have a chance to be seen? Like all the turd heads, just sit over there. But like the ones that are in it and really trying and really doing good in here and just being kind and they deserve a shot. Absolutely.
And we're all on our journey. And those people, if they get that shot, they get that first shot, people start to see their work, and now they become like these top creators, but they need to get this exposed. They need that exposure so that people can actually see what they have to offer.
100%. Yeah. Exposure is everything, man. And sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of like the little people, I notice, which I really love, you have these two worlds. So you have, I died laughing when I first saw it. You have your homeless, what is it? Your homeless hub room.
Horizon Homeless Hub.
And didn't you make that like whenever a lot of people had apartments and a lot of people still didn't? I know it took me forever to get my apartment. I was stuck on a little island, and I'm seeing all these people posting about having their apartments, and I'm like, hello,
I'm homeless.
I'm still down here, homeless, but I'm happy.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go over in the community because I didn't want to offend anyone, and I wanted, but I also can bring awareness to the homeless issue in general that's going on. There's so many of these tent cities and all these cities around the world. Terrible. So we really needed to kind of like shine a light on that. But also we were dealing with that in Horizon. We had the
Yes.
slow rollout where people were getting these Horizon home spaces that were apartments, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
us that still had the island and couldn't get one. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give those people a box or a tent in my
No.
city,
That was
and
so
they can put a
cute.
door in it, and it can be like a little
Right.
hub to their different worlds. And I had so many people come to me that had the apartment. They're like, how do I
Right.
get a box? How do I get a tent? And I'm like, you
No,
don't
no,
get
no,
one.
no, no,
You
no.
don't get
Right.
one.
No, you
You
have
don't
a penthouse
understand.
in the sky. Don't talk to
Exactly.
me.
You have a beautiful
Right.
apartment. It is a penthouse apartment, beautiful apartment,
Right.
and so many
Leave
people
the little
don't.
people
Nope.
alone.
So they were there
Right.
like, well, how do I get rid of my apartment? Because I want a box. You know, that's where people
Jeez.
were. They were so excited about.
That
They
took an
wanted to be
interesting
part.
turn.
Yeah, they wanted to be part of this thing because it was just so much
Aw.
fun, and
Right.
it was really fun time, and that's what really got me started
Yeah.
on doing these community builds where you kind of bring the
Love it.
community together.
Yeah.
And doing things as a group, and yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun when you're doing things with other people because
Yes.
it's not just yours, it's ours, and we can all
100%.
appreciate it together. And then there you meet so many new people because each people that's part of that community project is bringing their community into it
Mhm.
from all different places. I'm meeting all
Yeah.
of their groups of friends that I might have never met before. I might have known just the
Right.
one person, but now I'm meeting their circles. And sometimes
Yeah.
there's so many worlds in here that we're all just kind of bouncing around and crossing
Mhm.
paths and have no clue in this universe where we're at. And you may never meet some of these
Right.
people.
Right.
But these kind of events help you meet new groups of people, which is nice.
Yes. Give it up for the collaborations and the meeting new faces and, exploring new places. That's what it's all about. That's why I love bringing people into the show because, I do this for the community. I don't do this just because I want to sit on a stage and have people hear me talk. That's not why. I do this to bring the community together and to shine a light on, I've had a lot of, really big name people on the show, but I've also had people who don't really have a name, who deserve the spotlight, who are here for the right reasons and working really hard and just need to be seen and heard and to be validated for their efforts and, for their who they are. And, bringing people in also from other parts of the metaverse, like TikTok live streamers and, people that are doing things over in Banter, which I haven't done that yet, but I'm on the hunt.
I haven't done Banter yet either. I've been so busy in here to check out all these other things,
Yeah. Who has time?
Yeah.
But it's good to bring in new faces from new places and include everyone because we're a community within a massive space. The metaverse is so big and there's so many people that are doing something with it, and it's I love to see it. I love to meet new people, and it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, but going back to the penthouse in the sky and wanting to trade that in for a little tent or a little box, it just goes to show people that fancy things don't make you happy.
I actually
But
took
that's really
that. I took that Horizon apartment that everybody was trying to get, and I got a
Yeah.
copy of the template, and I made that into my
Mhm.
apartment Punderland. So that is
Yeah,
my
yeah.
my re-envisioning of that apartment. I made it my own.
Right.
It didn't have,
And I love it.
everybody was so excited to get one, right? And it didn't have a bathroom, it didn't have a bedroom,
Right.
and it didn't have a
I
kitchen.
know.
So when I did the Punderland, I put all those in there. I'm like, now this is supposed to be
Yeah.
this is supposed to be like a penthouse apartment. It doesn't have these basic
Right. I
things
know.
you would want in your apartment. So
Right.
yeah, I definitely
What
had to
kind
make
of a
sure that ours
penthouse
had
is
that.
this?
Right?
I know. I got one and I started messing with it and I tore it apart and then just got so busy with other things. It's just been sitting there just totally abandoned. But I
Yeah.
really like what you did with yours. The bathtub is really cute with all of your cute little characters and the toothbrush and all the bubbles and stuff. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, look what you did in here. This is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun.
Such a creative mind. Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. Tanzer, what would you say to anyone who is knowing how long that you've been here and how much experience you have and how many networking events and, experiences that you have? What would you say to anyone who is just getting started and might be afraid to, take that leap of faith and, doubting themselves, but wanting to do something really cool, whether it's hosting or music or building or whatever it is, they just, for whatever, feel hesitant. What would you say to them?
You don't get anywhere by sitting there doing nothing. Figure out what you're good at. and when you get hired to a company, nobody expects you to know how to do everything in that company. They hire you
Right.
to be the best at what you do. And that's what I do. I'm not a scripter. I'm not a talk show host. Like there's a lot of things where, I don't have those skill sets, but being creative, designing, art, style, thing like that, that's where my wheelhouse is. And I just try to do that the best I can and make friends and work with other people, collaborate, let them help you, you help them, do a lot of those kind of things. And you can accomplish a lot in here, but you have to throw down that first block. If you're trying to create, put something down like I did with those tacos, just start making a thing and then see what that thing becomes. You don't have to go into a world knowing exactly what it's going to be. Start just making something and see what evolves from that. Have some people come in and they give you an idea that, oh, this would be cool, that would be cool. And it just like becomes its own creation. And there's so many amazing things that start that way. So just give it a shot, see what happens. And you never know what you can accomplish. You know what I mean?
I love that. Great words, great advice. Absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask the audience real quick if anyone would like to chime in, that's okay, but no pressure. If you could see anything new or different implemented, if you've been here, I know Antonio Black, love you, boo. You've been here since the very beginning, and I appreciate you so much. Pop Zing and his team, they've been here through so many episodes. Zeratek, Rock. I mean, there's so many people in the audience that have been here with me through so many episodes and ups and downs, and I appreciate you. I appreciate the new faces too, so thank you for coming. If you could see new and improved or things that I haven't even thought of implemented into the show for season 2, what would they be? You don't have to answer right at this moment. Even if you want to just come up to me after the show and give me some feedback, that would be great. Shoot me a message, whatever. I always am looking for and appreciate feedback. So just think about that if you would, please. I would appreciate it. Yeah, I am very excited for what's coming this week. We're getting our Avatars Tuesday. I mean, that's going to be like a huge day. Who's actually going to be going to work Tuesday? Or are you just like going to wait until we get the rollout? You're going to call in sick? I can't come into work today. There's a big thing happening. Prince said, no.
Horizon's going to be really quiet earlier in that day because we're going to all be in our, closet.
Menus.
Yeah, in our closet, customizing, changing everything up, tweaking things, sizing things, getting the proportions all right, getting the colorings all right. Trying to find that what's going to be my coming out outfit. What am I going to wear for my first day as this new person?
Because it's going to be so important.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. So like that's why when I just launched the pick of the patch, I decided I was going to do it on the first, and I'm like, well, that's a stupid idea. There's going to be nobody that gives a crap about any new worlds. It's going to be about like these avatars. So I'm like, I better launch this thing before all this nonsense starts happening, as nobody cares about anything but avatars for the next couple weeks.
Pandemonium. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
And oh my gosh, it's going to be absolutely insane. But you're right. I mean, it's like going to school on your first day, right? You want to make sure you have the right shoes, the right outfit, your hair looks just right. You got the right breath mints, you put on the right cologne and perfume, like your backpack is sharp. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be definitely a historical moment. I remember the day we got legs. I was like in another world, and then it dropped, and everyone's like, oh my God, come to the plaza, or where were we? Come to Horizon. Where were we? Venues. Come to venues right now. I'm like, what? What is everybody freaking out about? I was getting ding, 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 ding. I'm like, okay, I'm coming. And I went and I was like, oh my God, we have legs. So I can imagine it'll be something like that.
Well, I was around when we
got
these.
What time are the avatars dropping?
I was around when we got these avatars, and we went from the old avatars to the lower version of these. These have kind of like upgraded a little bit over time, but
massively, I
went through this once before where we had to reintroduce ourselves, and it was so wild. And it's like, this is my friend. Like, this looks nothing like my friend. Like,
Right.
this is so bizarre to wrap your brain around. But like now, like you know
Right.
them all like this, and I can't even remember how they used to look.
I
You know,
know. But like check out these avatars though. Like your beard has a fade. Your fade with your hair on top is clean. Like
yeah.
you got some GQ looking avatars in here and some Miss Americas, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
it's definitely gonna be something to expect.
Yep.
I don't
Well,
not
it'll
even
be
I don't know what to expect.
it'll be
So
interesting to see if people like align themselves with who they want to be with or with who they are as a real person. Because in
right.
here you can do anything you want, you know what I mean? So it'll be
Mhm.
definitely interesting. And
Yeah.
these new avatars will have all of those nuances and body types and things like
Yeah.
that. So you can pretty much look a lot like you really do.
Yeah.
But we all make those, you know, who do we want to be in here? And
Right.
that'll be our persona, and you can live that life.
Mhm.
So
You
it's gonna
can
be
look
fun.
any way you want to look. And then we've got some smarty pants. So I also expect to see some extremely wonky, off the wall, like
Well, it is
what
Halloween.
is going through your mind?
Halloween's coming.
No, but I mean, like
so
one eye up here and one down here, and they're like this far apart, and the head's like this big, but the body's this big, and you've got these teeny little legs and these massive arms. Like, I don't know, it might get a little bit crazy.
yeah.
So, well, guys, I don't usually do this, but I am going to leave you. Oh, well, before I do that, Tanzer, do you have any final thoughts? We've got about 5 minutes before our hour. Would you like to add anything in to the end of the show?
Well, definitely come check out the art gallery. So if you're interested in getting images for your worlds, or you're looking to have art on your walls, maybe pictures of your dog, your family members, I can bring pictures like that in for your worlds. So check that out. Pick of the Patch is now released. Come vote for your favorite pumpkins in that world. And I do another thing for the community. I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but I do the Tanzer Cemetery.
Yes. Oh, I
know
forgot to bring that one up. Yes.
Oh
Sorry
no,
about
it's
that.
no worries. That's a world that it's probably
That's a
meant
big
the
one.
most in here. I've had a lot of emotions run through this world. It's made me feel a little choked up in some occasions, because it's bringing the real world into the VR world. And what I do in the Tanzer Cemetery, and there's also the Pet Cemetery, is if we've lost someone in our real lives, or we've lost a friend that we've met in here, and you want to honor them and have them added to the cemetery, you just reach out to me, and I do it for no cost to have their name, quotes, some information about that person put on a headstone in the cemetery. And it makes it feel like a real place, because it's filled with so many different people from different groups and their real lives. And so when you walk through the cemetery, it feels real to you, because you're passing other stones of other people's loved ones and what they've written. And it's I've had people come in there bawling and crying, and trying to pick out a space for their loved one. And I might have met that person in there just to show it to them a week earlier, and they had no intentions of ever having a person there. And then a week later, they're reaching out to me and being like, I just lost my father. Is there any way you can honor him in your cemetery? And I'm like, I'd love to do that for you. And it's so sad, but it's nice to have a place like that for our friends and family, and honor them in here. And some people, and pets, and some people, someone's cremated and they don't have a space to go visit, or they're too far away, like you've moved out of state and your family member lives someplace else, so you can't just go visit whenever you want. But when you're in here and you're thinking about those loved ones, it's a nice place to sit there and go and be able to visit with them. And I have flowers and flags that you can go and you can gift it to them. So you bring it to the stone, and when you get close enough to the trigger, it pulls the flowers out of your hands and places them in the vase next to the stone really nicely.
What? Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, so definitely.
Go ahead. Sorry.
If you have a loved one and you want to honor them, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to add them to the cemetery. So.
I totally meant to that. I was looking right at it on my notes, and I meant to mention it, but then I got so sidetracked with the homeless, because I was going to mention. Yeah, no, well, I mean, it's important to mention it because it's a good one, and it's got a lot of meaning and a lot of love and good intention behind it. And I just got so excited and distracted about the homeless, build that you did.
Yeah.
But that's very sweet, because it's true. I mean, there's people that they need that They need that. So
Yeah.
that's very sweet that you did that. Let's give it up for Tanzer, ladies and gentlemen. What a great special guest he's been today. I thank you all for coming. And I would like to leave you all with something. So first, let me just say, watch my social media this week because I have big announcements coming for season 2. And as you saw the wall out there, I've got a list of all of the guests that have been here throughout the whole season. There are a few that I wasn't able to get onto my YouTube channel for the replays. Unfortunately, I haven't always had my camera bought, and sometimes things do go wrong with technological errors. They happen. So there are some missing, but it's a very small amount of videos that aren't there. So I found this really cool poem today, and I just wanted to leave you with that as I say goodbye to season 1. And hopefully I'll see you all in season 2 next week. That starts next Sunday, the 6th of October, same time, 1 p.m. October arrives carrying the crispness of change in the air, a reminder that we are in the heart of transformation. The leaves fall like moments, each one a piece of the year drifting away, yet making space for something new. It is a time to embrace the warmth of reflection, to honor both the growth and the challenges that we faced. As the days shorten and the nights grow longer, we're reminded to slow down, to savor the present while looking ahead. Is that savor? To save. Sorry, I messed that up. Okay. Yes, that's right. Savor. I would not be good at spoken word. October invites us to let go of what no longer serves us and trust in the beauty of what's to come. In this season of change, let's step forward with gratitude, courage, and an open mind. October is here, bringing with it a chance to reset and renew. So on that note, happy fall, everybody. Happy National Coffee Day. Thank you for being here. You're all amazing. I appreciate you all so very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Please go check out Tanzer's World Door Art Gallery. Check out some of his other worlds. Show him some love. Fred has a really cool world he just published too. It's a Halloween world. I know there's some other people that are working on Halloween worlds. The seasons have changed, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for it. Everybody, thank you for coming very much. You are appreciated, you are loved, and I thank you again for all of your support. And I will see you in season 2. Everybody have a great day. Tanzer, thank you so much for being here. I wish you the very best in all of your future endeavors. You were a great guest today. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
So, yes.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Yes, thank you guys. All right, that does it for the show. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Thank you guys.